Welcome back to the channel, guys. So what we're looking at here is the Saab 9.3 turbo motor swap. If you guys have followed up on part 1 and 2, I was showed how I did the compression check and got my new motor and stuff like that. Well, it's new to me but used, but the compression checked out good. So what we're looking at here is the low mileage engine that I'm slapping in there. And there's my turbo back there. Sorry for the bad lighting, but it's all stock. Probably put a little bit of a tune on her just to kind of jazz it up a little bit, get a little more boost out of it. But as you can see, I painted my block and subframe and struts, and love it or hate it, there was no way I was putting her back in there all greasy and crappy looking. I mean, it was caked with a bunch of miles of grease. This car's an 07, so after it took me about 2 seconds to realize I was gonna have to use the cherry picker to pull the subframe outside and power wash it off and paint it with some aluminium paint and a little bit of red on the struts, and we got some blue on the block because the block was a little kind of it was just, I don't know if you can see, it's kind of got a little bit of corrosion on it and stuff. I mean, it came from California, but who knows where it was at in its previous life. So yeah, through just some paint that I had around my buddy's shop on there, some aluminum on the subframe, some blue on there, some red on the struts, a little bit of black here and there, just to kind of jazz it up a little bit. I didn't want to put it in there all crappy looking and stuff. So I'm using the injectors and harness off my other motor because they're known to be good and working. Plus the car it came out of was an automatic, whereas mine is a 6-speed car, so I'm not sure if there was any differences in the harnesses, and I didn't want to take a chance of the injectors being clogged up or something on the other setup. So yeah, let's back up here, and she's looking pretty clean and pretty good. About to go back in the car. I've been thrashing on it since earlier today, so it took me a little bit longer just because I power washed everything and painted it and got her all decent looking. I had to fiddle around with the clutch for a while to make sure it was in right and take the automatic flywheel off that engine, and then put in the flywheel. And I was on the fence. I was man, I'd really like to put a new clutch in it while I have it apart, but thank God, luckily I got it apart, and I was just gonna send it anyways, but someone had already actually put a loop clutch in it and flywheel that was super fresh, looked like it had just been recently replaced. I was oh, that's good. So because she's a budget build, I was just gonna kind of inspect it and just take it from there, and thank God it had a good replaced clutch in it. So there's the car up on the lift, and I am gonna kind of button a few things up and get the subframe kind of lined back up with the car halfway decent and lower it back down on it. So I'll have her running tomorrow. I just gotta get her in there and hook everything up, put the wiring harness on it, button up everything and get her going. So yeah, she's getting there. Excuse me, the cat was the primary cat on the engine that was in there had been gutted already. So I went ahead and used the gutted one so I can get a little more flow out of the turbo, and then it's got the secondary one down there, so I'm probably going to straight pipe that and then get rid of the resonator in the middle. So I'll probably straight pipe it all the way from the secondary cat to that, and then probably just eliminate that muffler at the rear. I've got a Borla laying around that I might try, or maybe just straight pipe it out of the turbo and see how loud it is. I'd like to have a little bit of turbo noise at the back, so we'll see. I'll probably run it straight pipe for now, and then if it's too loud I'll slap that Borla that I have on there at the back. But for now it's going to be catless and no resonator in the middle, and just run it all the way back. They have a pretty sweet stainless exhaust on eBay, but that might come later on, so we'll see what's up. But there's a little baby turbo that it comes with, and I'm not going to worry about upgrading that or anything. Just like I said, probably tune it, turn up the boost a little. So yeah, that's it. Let me get back to it, guys, and I will hit you up tomorrow. Hopefully we'll be running and making some turbo noises. Have a good night.